So let's start today on our back. Get comfortable. Close your eyes. Allow your whole body to relax. And if you sense at all that relaxation does not come easily or naturally, don't fight with it. The surefire way to not relax is to struggle to relax. The best way to relax is just to make peace with whatever it is your experience is, good or bad. Now we'll begin to deepen our breathing, inhaling first to the belly, the ribs, and the upper chest in that order. And exhale as you reverse that. If laying flat on your back is not comfortable, you can have your knees bent like this. So creating that three-part breath and really trying to smooth that out, make that as silent as possible. So even though it's very deep, it's not particularly fast. If you breathe deep and fast, you get kind of a sniffing, a kind of sound, and we want to try and avoid that. So after a few of those deep three-part breaths, we add sound, but it's not a sniffing. It's not from the nose. It's from the throat. So this is like fogging a mirror with your mouth closed. So those are two pranayamic techniques that we've layered one on top of the other. There's actually one more that I don't always mention, but that is making sure the inhale and the exhale are about the same length. So if you want to take a moment and just count the inhale, count the exhale, try and make sure that they're about the same length. That one is not much shorter than the other one. You don't have to be super exact, but approximately the same amount of time in the inhale as the exhale. And that might take a little bit of practice, but that's called samavriti. Now that we've established those breathing techniques, let's begin by warming up our right leg. We'll bring it in. Again, the left leg can be straight or bent. It's really up to you. So moving that leg around, feeling into the hip and the back. Today I'm not feeling much of anything, which can be a good sign. Might mean that my body is relatively healed and healthy. There isn't damage or anything like that. It could also mean I'm not active enough. Sometimes when we're active, we feel soreness and stiffness. I'm not feeling much of that. Okay, from here, we begin to bring the leg out to the side, and we want to feel a stretch right in here. That's the groin. So you can bring it out to the side, notice what you feel, and if that is not strong enough, you can begin to work on straightening that leg. And it doesn't have to go completely straight, just find the stretch in the inside of the thigh. And we're not trying to hold that still, we're just moving into it a bit. So you notice I'm kind of straightening and bending my leg. And then after doing that a few times, you can hold that stretch for a few breaths. Then we'll bring the leg back in and we take hold of the foot and the knee and we begin just moving that leg around. So now we're feeling it out here. And if you'd like to be more aggressive, you can actually wrap your elbows around. So you'll notice I'm lifting my head and neck and shoulders up, just kind of rocking the hip, feeling into that area. So again, I'm not trying to hold still. It's not yin. Just letting those muscles stretch and release a few times. And then after a few of those, if I want, I can hold the stretch for a few breaths. That can be very effective. And then inhale the leg up and exhale it down. Side two, same thing. Let's begin just by cradling the leg. We move it around a bit. This one I feel much more. So this left hip has been kind of cranky recently. Not sure exactly what's going on. It's not pain exactly. It's just, again, kind of a achiness. So I don't know if it's a particular muscle that is triggered right now, tight. From there, I drop the knee to the left. And again, I want to feel a stretch in the inside of the thigh. Some people will feel it here, so you could just sort of lift and drop that knee a few times. However, many people will not really feel much of anything with the knee bent, so beginning to straighten and bend or lift and drop the straight leg. Everyone's a little different, so don't necessarily try and imitate what I'm doing. Just feel the stretch and then release the stretch and then feel the stretch and release it. Do that a few times. And then again, you can hold there, take a few breaths. Good. And then the other area we'll focus on today is the outside of the hip. So bringing the leg in. And then again, we can be more aggressive like this. Good. And then we just inhale that leg up and exhale it down. Let's bring both legs in. And then sliding hands under the hips with the palms down. Let's extend those legs up. Take a deep breath. Exhale, lower the legs toward the ground just before they touch. Inhale, draw them in. Extend them up and exhale again down. Good. Next time we inhale up and we exhale just about a third of the way. Take a breath. Then exhale about a third of the way. Take a breath. Exhale just before touching the ground. Take a breath. Good. Inhale, legs up, and exhale up to seated. Let's transition to a tabletop, and we'll begin just with a few cat-cows back and forth with the spine. And then, as usual, I recommend you add a little more variety to that, side to side, shrugging the shoulders, rolling the head and neck around. And you don't have to coordinate the breath and the movement. Just make sure you give everything a good stretch, a wake-up call, if you will. Take your time with that, but when you're done, you can tuck those toes, lift those hips, and we give our ankles and knees and hips a good stretch. And then we'll come into our full downward dog. So the hands are about shoulder width, fingers wide, chest drawing back toward the toes, feet hip distance, and heels reaching toward the ground. With the exhale, let's bring our feet toward the hands, coming into a ragdoll. We can grab the opposite elbow and nod or shake the head, sway the hips, bend the knees a bit. So again, not feeling too much of anything here, which is a good sign. Very often when we have a bad back, that will show up here in this posture in one form or another. So as many of you know, I've had some trouble with my back. And so right now it's feeling pretty strong, which is good. Okay, arms relaxed. We'll inhale and roll up to standing. And now we'll do a few sun salutations or modified sun salutations. We inhale the arms up, touch palms, lift the heart, and exhale to a forward fold. Inhale to the half lift, and exhale to the top of a push-up, knees up or down. Take a nice deep breath, drop the knees, and exhale halfway down. And with the next exhale, lower the rest of the way. As you inhale, press into hands, lift head, neck, and chest for cobra. Exhale, lower back down, press back to tabletop, and then to downward facing dog. Let's breathe. From downward dog, we inhale to the toes as we fill our lungs and exhale to the front edge of the mat. Inhaling up to standing back bend and then grabbing the right wrist with the left hand, we exhale to a side stretch or half moon. Inhale back to center and exhale to the other side. Inhale to center and exhale to forward fold. Inhale to the half lift and exhale again to the top of a push-up, stepping back. Knees up or down is your choice. Take a deep breath, exhale, lower down halfway. Inhale, straighten arms and legs for up dog. Knees should be active. And then exhale, both feet come in at the same time as the hips lift up and back for down dog. Do one more. Inhale to the toes, fill the lungs. Exhale to the front edge of your mat. Inhale to the standing back bend. Exhale to half moon. Stretch your side. Inhale center. Exhale half moon on the other side. Inhale back to center and exhale, sit into your imaginary seat for chair pose. So inhale to standing back bend and we'll exhale into a forward fold. Inhale to the half lift and exhale, if you can, jump back, bottom of the push-up. Inhale up dog, or you could repeat cobra here. And exhale, push up on your way back to downward dog. Good. Hopefully you're beginning to feel nice and warmed up at this point. I know that I definitely am. Let's bring our feet to touch here. We inhale the right leg up and back. Exhale that knee to the ground. And then inhale, stacking the hips and shoulders to a modified side plank. Okay, so the gaze is up. Reaching the crown of the head away from the tailbone. Breath is deep, rhythmic, and slow. Good, let's exhale that hand down. Inhale the right leg up and back to three-legged dog. And exhale as you lunge. Let's inhale to a warrior two, Virabhadrasana. So front foot and knee are pointing straight ahead. I don't know if you can see my knee is over my heel, so it's not back here. It's not out here. Okay. My right thigh is approaching parallel. You can see it's not parallel, but I'm working in that direction. The left heel is down, and that foot could point straight to the left or angle in slightly, and that leg is straight. My hips, my chest are opening up to the left wall, and my fingertips are reaching out like I'm trying to touch the front and back wall simultaneously. My gaze is over my front fingertips. One of the most common things I see in this posture is this. So this isn't it. Not leaning forward. There's no leaning forward. Okay, so just bring the shoulders back over the hips. Let's take a deep breath. Exhale, cartwheel down, bottom of the push-up, making your way to the downward dog. Good, side two, feet touch. Inhale, left leg up and back. Exhale that knee to the ground. And inhale to your modified side plank. Okay. So as we ramp up the variations of this posture, remember that you can always return to this one as necessary. Very stable. We want this left shoulder, however, active. So rather than collapsing, engage. Good, exhale that hand down and inhale left leg up and back. Exhale lunge and inhale to warrior two on the other side. So you want to feel the legs in this posture. You'll notice I'm sort of edging my feet out. I'm looking for my edge where I'm feeling the work, the stretch in this back leg, and the fatigue, if you will. Fatigue equals strengthening, generally speaking. Okay, so if I'm not feeling any fatiguing here, then it's likely I'm not getting much strengthening happening in this front thigh. Same with the arms. This is why we don't do this. Because if the minute my arms start to fatigue, I do this, they will not get stronger. I'm giving them a rest right when they get to the point where they're likely to start strengthening. Good, take a deep breath, exhale, cartwheel down, bottom of the push-up, and make your way to down dog. From downward dog, let's inhale to the toes, exhale, front edge of the mat. We inhale up to standing back bend, exhale to a forward fold, and then inhale to half lift, but let's see if we can do a little more today, okay? So hands to the ground, shoulder width, elbows bend, okay? The elbows and shoulders are stacked above the wrists. Shins touch the back of the upper arm, so I'm resting my shins on my upper arm. I look up, not down, and then let me see if I can just lift one foot at a time without that arm collapsing. Okay, so the arm is strong enough to bear that weight. Go back and forth a few times, and if it feels okay, you can begin to shift weight till both toes lift. And that's more about balance than strength. So if you can lift one toe or one foot at a time without the arm collapsing, chances are you're actually strong enough to hold your weight there. It's just a matter of balance and coordination. So that's just carefully shifting that weight until you find the balance point. You don't want to rush that process. Okay, from crow, that's the name of this posture, Bakasana, you can exhale bottom of your push-up and make your way back to downward facing dog. Okay, down dog, let's bring feet to touch. We inhale right leg up and back, and just exhale that foot about halfway up the mat. Roll onto the edge of your left foot and inhale the right arm up. Okay, this is another modified side plank. Now, this is too much. You simply drop that bottom knee and extend this leg out. This is a repeat of what we did last time. However, see if you can do this safely. And the main thing, the safety is in this shoulder. So if this shoulder's feeling good, then you're okay, generally speaking. Good, let's exhale that hand down. Inhale, right leg up and back. Exhale, lunge. And then we inhale to a warrior two. Let's flow our warrior two a few times. So we inhale up to stupa, which is neutral. The toes point out. The arms are just a comfortable distance. And we exhale to warrior two facing back. Very simple and should be relatively easy flow. Do remember you want to feel those legs as you come into the posture though. So find that work in the legs. Good, this time we inhale back to center and we exhale to the goddess. Okay, so the knees and toes are pointing out in the same direction at an angle. Those knees are back, so I'm getting that stretch in the inside of the thigh that we explored at the beginning of the class. Okay, my knees are over my heels. My arms are just basically mimicking what I'm doing in the legs. Again, if I could, I would bring my thighs parallel. That's a little too intense for me, at least today. So this is about as close as I can get. Face, jaw relaxed. Breath is deep, rhythmic, slow. Good. We inhale back up and exhale, cartwheel down, bottom of the push-up. Make our way to down dog. All right, side two, feet touch. Inhale, left leg up and back. Exhale the foot about halfway up, and then inhale to the second variation of the modified side plank. Let's exhale that hand down. Inhale the leg up and back. Exhale as you lunge, and inhale to a warrior two. Good, let's flow. So we inhale up, stupa, and exhale, warrior two facing back. Feel the legs, inhale. And exhale, feel those legs. Continue with the breath. Good. This time we inhale up and we exhale again to the goddess pose. Anytime you're repeating something, it's it's at least potentially possible that you can go a little further without straining, especially when it comes to flexibility. When it comes to strength, very often it's the opposite. The more times we repeat something, very often we find our muscles are already beginning to fatigue. And so we might find it harder to hold as long or go as deep. Remember though that that can bring a lot of benefit with it. That burning you're feeling in your legs, I'm feeling it too. That's called muscle fatigue. And that is not a bad thing. Good, let's inhale back up. We exhale, cartwheel down, bottom of the push-up, making our way to down dog. Okay, from our down dog, let's inhale to the toes. Exhale, front edge of the mat. Inhale up to a standing back bend. Good, and we exhale to a forward fold. Inhale to half lift. If you can do a crow pose here, go ahead and do that. And then from crow, try extending your right leg behind you. And that's called Ekapada Bakasana, first variation. Really challenging posture. So if you can't do that, don't be surprised at all. I can't hold it very long. But see what happens. And then you can step back, shoot back, and Vinyasa to downward facing dog. Oh, actually, sorry. If you do it on one side, let's do it on the other side as well. So just extending that left leg back. I don't know if you can hear that, but my SI joint actually cracked on both sides, which is a nice adjustment. You might actually pay your chiropractor to do that. So this is just the beauty of body weight exercises, is they crack our joints, they move our body, they get blood flow going, all of that super good for us. And just moving our own body. We don't need any machines, we don't need any weight, just gravity, the floor, and our own bodies. Okay, beautiful everybody. From here, let's bring feet to touch. We'll inhale the right leg up and back. Let me see. Yeah, or actually, let's keep feet together and then we'll roll over to the left side into a classic side plank here. Okay, so this is the classic side plank. You'll notice that you could draw a line from my nose, breastbone, navel, pubic bone, knees, heels. That's exactly what we want. If this is a little too much, you know two ways of modifying, like that, like this, okay? And one other way is if you feel wobbly forward and back, take the top foot and just place it like so. Create a little more stability there. Okay, let's bring that right foot forward into a lunge. And we inhale up into our warrior two. And then we're going to add a goddess, okay, to our flow. So we inhale up, stupa, exhale to the goddess. Inhale back up, exhale warrior two facing back. Good, so just with the breath, flowing through these postures. Good, now inhale, let's add a reverse warrior. Okay, so we're reaching back. I like to actually grab this wrist, get a little deeper stretch. You could have the hand here, okay, as well. Some people reach around and actually grab the opposite thigh. That's fine as well. Just try and maximize that stretch in your right waist and ribs. Let's inhale up and exhale, cartwheel down, bottom of our push-up. Make your way to down dog. Okay, feet touching. Let's roll over to the right foot for our classic side plank on the other side. Good. Let's exhale that foot forward and inhale to a warrior two. Let's flow. So we inhale up, exhale goddess, inhale up, exhale warrior two facing back. Good. Pretty simple flow. Just moving with the breath. Slow the breath down, slow the movements down. Good. This time as we come to front, we inhale to a reverse or peaceful warrior. Make sure that front knee is still lunging, okay? So legs really haven't changed at all. Good. Inhale up, exhale, cartwheel down, bottom of your push-up. Okay, let's inhale to our toes. We exhale to the front edge of the mat. Let's inhale up to standing. And exhale, hands out like wings. Join index finger and thumb. Bend both knees. Inhale, right ankle over left thigh, foot flexed. Okay, no pain in the knees or the ankle. And then dropping the hips and chest down until we feel a stretch out here. Remember the stretch we did at the beginning, the second one, when we were laying down? That's the same stretch we're trying to activate here. Balancing is one of the most valuable things you get out of your yoga practice. So just keep that in mind. If you're struggling here, that is good. It means your body is learning something by doing this today. Good. Let's inhale all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart. Other side, inhale up. And exhale, arms out like wings, bend those knees. Inhale, left ankle over the right. Notice my foot is flexed. That usually can help stabilize that knee. So you might want to try that if you're feeling any funkiness in that knee. How far down you go until you feel the stretch in the outside of the hip without any pain. Good. Let's inhale all the way back up and exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift, and exhale, bottom of the push-up. Make your way to down dog. All right. From here, let's go ahead and bring our feet to touch. Let's again roll to the left side. Okay, holding this position. And let's add some dynamic movement. So exhale, hips and hand down. Inhale, lifting up and arching. Good. Remember, there are several ways to modify this. And even if you have the foot here, you can still move. Okay, that's the nice thing about this variation with the foot. Okay, from our side plank, let's exhale that foot forward. And we again inhale to a warrior two. The next inhale, we come up to our stupa. We exhale to a goddess. Inhale, back up. Exhale, warrior two facing back. Inhale, reverse. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, stupa. Exhale, goddess. Inhale, stupa. Exhale, warrior two facing front. Inhale, reverse. Exhale, warrior two. And just with the breath, inhaling up. Exhaling, goddess. Inhale, stupa. Exhale, warrior. Inhale, reverse. Exhale, warrior. Inhale, stupa. Exhale, goddess. Inhale, stupa. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, reverse. And now exhale. Bring your forearm onto your thigh. Reach your heel away from your fingertips. Roll that left shoulder back, gaze up. This is the extended side angle. Okay, from here, try reaching back, reaching under the leg, and binding, clasping fingers or wrists. Okay, roll that left shoulder back, look up. From here, try stepping the back foot forward and inhaling, standing up on the left leg. I am not mirroring right now, just FYI. Okay, so trying to stand up and then straighten the bound leg. And it's called Bird of Paradise. Good. So exhale back down, bottom of the push-up, making your way to down dog. So remember, the key isn't to necessarily do what I did, but just to get as close as you can and stopping when it really starts to kind of get away from you. You don't want to push too hard. But you also don't want to not push yourself at all. There really is a Goldilocks zone when it comes to this stuff. So pushing a bit, getting out of the comfort zone a little bit, but then learning to relax there. Okay, side two. From here, we roll into our side plank. Remember, if the shoulder's not feeling strong, I modify. Exhale, hips and hand down. Inhale, lift and arch. You can arch here because we're not doing the static version. Good. Exhale, foot forward. Inhale, warrior two. Take a breath. Inhale, stupa. Exhale, goddess. Inhale, stupa. Exhale, warrior two facing back. Inhale, reverse warrior. With the breath, exhale. Inhale. Goddess. Inhale, warrior. Exhale, reverse. Inhale. Good, and now we come into our extended side angle. Now this is really challenging for you. Again, I just recommend you stay here. I doubt it is though, to be honest with you. I don't think many people find this really that challenging. But if that's the case, then you stay right here. If you can, maybe even with a strap, reach around and see if you can create that bind. That would be the next step. So with a strap, with whatever you need, try and create that bind. Even if it's a little awkward, uncomfortable, see if you can learn to breathe there deeply. Okay? So that would be the next step. The next step is just stepping that foot forward. So this might be it, which is kind of an awkward, weird position. It doesn't really seem like much, but actually you've accomplished a lot if you're here. Okay? And then the next step is, let me see if I can stand up, maintain my balance, right? And then the final step, straightening the leg. Good. Let's exhale. Bottom of the push-up. Again, a very challenging posture. Requires strength, balance, flexibility. So you're putting a lot of things together in that posture. Okay, let's take a look at one more arm balance. So inhale to the toes, exhale front edge of the mat. And let's just build it one step at a time. And again, that's the key. One step at a time, okay? So inhale, arms up. And exhale, let's bring our arms out and bend our knees. Inhale the right ankle over the left thigh, right? And then again, we've done this already. So at the very least, you repeat this and maybe you go a little further. From here, the next step is actually very simple, just hands to the ground. Okay, so you're here, and again, you can drop those hips down, breathe. All right, and that might be as far as you're comfortable going, and that's perfectly fine. If you want to try the next step, you want to plant your hands. Feel free to put them on blocks. That's okay. They're about shoulder width. I bring the shin bone against the back of my arms and look at my foot. I'm going to wrap my foot around the arm, so I'm actually hugging the arm. Okay, that's the next step. From there, I just look up and see if I can get enough weight to lift my foot, enough weight forward to just lift that foot. Okay, that would be the next step. Final step, extend the leg straight behind you. Okay, and that's called Galavasana. Sometimes in English it's called flying pigeon pose. So just like the one we did earlier, both of those poses where we extend that leg behind us, really challenging, really difficult. I've been doing this a long time. It's a challenge every time I do it, okay? So just because I can do it doesn't mean it's easy, doesn't mean it's effortless. It's quite a lot of work. All right, let's explore the other side. So we inhale up. And again, just step by step. I can't emphasize that enough. Okay, so left over right. And then here, again, we've done this earlier, so hopefully this is a no-brainer. And again, if it is, just see what happens when you bring your hands to the ground or two blocks. Just what happens. What do you feel? What happens to your breathing? What does your mind begin to tell you, right? Does it begin to say, oh, you can't do that, or you're going to hurt yourself, or you're too old, or you're too weak, or you're too sick, or you're too injured? Just notice. Just notice what happens as you get out of that comfort zone. Okay, from here, shin to the back of the arms. And again, can I wrap this foot? That's the next step. From there, I just see if I can lift the back foot And then if I can extend that leg behind me. Again, I can't emphasize enough, really challenging posture. So please do not feel at all bad if you weren't able to do it. You may never be able to do it, and I hope you understand that's not important. What is important is as we build the posture, most of us will find a point at which we're challenged. I'm not sure if there's anyone who can do that pose without feeling challenged, quite honestly. Maybe, I don't know. But everyone I know who can do it finds it very difficult. So that's the point. At a certain point, we want to find our own personal edge, our own personal challenge. So for me, even though I can do that posture, what's challenging for me is learning to breathe and relax there, right? Because I feel like I'm getting overwhelmed. I feel like I need to come out of it immediately. So that's the challenge, is turning that into a little meditation, calming my nervous system, deepening my breath, relaxing my face. Okay? So hopefully you'll understand that. If you find that at an earlier point, perfect. It's essentially serving the same function. Okay, so from there, let's go ahead and come back onto our back. We'll relax. From there, we draw those legs in, give them a nice squeeze, make some circles. Again, I've been sort of reporting on the condition of my body, and right now it feels really good, to be honest. I've done quite a lot of work, both on my own and working with body workers, physical therapists, a massage therapist, chiropractor. And right now, my body's feeling pretty strong. There is still some pain in certain positions, but much less, much more bearable than before. Okay, arms out to the side. We'll take those knees down to the left as we look to our right. So let's let the breathing be natural now, so we're not trying to breathe. This is essentially like a yin posture. So even though my body is feeling strong and good, it still is my goal to try and see if I can get it completely pain-free. And so I will continue pursuing avenues that I feel bring me closer to that goal. So like I said, my left hip is being a little funky. My neck is bothering me a bit these days. And then when I bend sideways on one side, there's some pain there, likely related to the hip. So very often these things are all interrelated, or they're like a domino effect. They're kind of playing into one another. All right, let's inhale those knees back through center. We'll exhale them off to the other side. So it's at least possible that if I can discover one thing, a root cause, it's possible that all of those things go away. That may not be the case, but it's a possibility. Maybe I have my hip flexors on my left side or my right side are really jacked up, and then that's causing my spine to kind of sway in a certain way, or causing me to favor one side. That may be contributing to the neck pain, which is on one side as well. So the whole body is really interconnected, interrelated. That's why there isn't really like a part of the body that we just want to ignore. There isn't really a part of the body that we want to just be like, oh, well, I don't care if that's in pain. As much as possible, we want to take those feelings and sensations of pain or imbalance and address them, because they can domino and lead to other things. So inhale those knees back to center. Give those legs another squeeze. And then grabbing the soles of the feet, do a little happy baby here. And then we can, somebody I know calls this the Peter Pan. So you can do a little bit of that. Pull the legs apart or overhead. All of these are just variations of Ananda Balasana or happy baby. Okay, so take your time with that. When you're done, you unwind onto your back, heels apart, palms up, head centered, chin tucked in slightly, eyes closed. Set your timer for 6 minutes and just relax in stillness for the next 6 minutes or so.